Wow, I don't know how to describe my feelings towards the ending of this show. I'm just left confused, utterly confused. This is the second time this year, not this year, but second time in a row now that WrestleMania has ended with me confused. And technically, I would say 33, but I kind of understood it until what happened later, which caused my confusion. But I'll just keep it my initial reaction. And the ending to WrestleMania 35 was just like, what? But I'll get to it. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Walk 71, Play Stable to 4, and I'm here, my WrestleMania 35 review for you all. I don't know, man. That ending to this show just really just I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was a botch or if it was planned. I hope it wasn't planned, but I also hope it wasn't botched. I'm just very confused. I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's just get into this show. So we open up. Well, before I actually talk about the opening cruiserweight championship match, let's talk about the stage of WrestleMania this year. The stage for WrestleMania this year was terrible. The creative people, whoever like designed these stages, gave no effort or like creative thought at all of making the stage. The WrestleMania stage this year was literally just a screen. It was a screen, man. It was literally just a screen. That is about the laziest stage I've seen in a long time. And WrestleMania, usually their stages goes along with the theme of the show. So, for example, WrestleMania 33, still one of my favorite stages, even though it had like that 100-foot yard ramp. The theme of it was the ultimate thrill ride. So it's supposed to have roller coasters and all that kind of stuff. And the stage has roller coasters, and it looked amazing. WrestleMania 30 had the three X's on it to represent WrestleMania 30. Last year's WrestleMania, it was in New Orleans once again, and it had the Mardi Gras theme. So they put the Mardi Gras mask on it, which is actually really interesting. I actually like that one. WrestleMania, what was it? I don't know. WrestleMania 31 stage was like pretty generic, but it had something to it. This one was literally just a screen. Like, I thought because they had the crowns on it that when the show started they would rise the crowns up and then you would have an additional thing to it. But no, the stage of WrestleMania this year was just a big ass screen. That sucks. That was so lazy. But anyways, the pre-show, we had a 2-hour pre-show to a super long show. But the first match of the pre-shows was the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. We had Tony Nese versus the champion Buddy Murphy, with Tony Nese getting the victory after having, a good little short match. The match didn't last that long. It was about 10 minutes, I believe, when I checked the Wikipedia. Most of it was just both of them getting their individual offenses in before Buddy Murphy hit the Murphy's Law for a near fall and Tony Nese hitting a 450 for a near fall. The ending of this match saw Tony Nese German suplex Buddy Murphy into the turnbuckles, and then Tony Nese hitting the running knees and winning the match. He wins the Cruiserweight title in his first title reign. He won in his hometown. Tony Nese is not one of those people I look forward to watching in 205 Live whenever I do. I usually look for Cedric, and it was Mustafa Ali before he left, and Buddy Murphy. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know. This ending to WrestleMania has really got me just like shocked right now. I can't get my thoughts together. I know I probably should. But anyways, the next match we got was the second annual WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, aka the female Battle Royal, where they took everybody that they screwed up creatively, including Asuka, and put them all in a Battle Royal. I'm not going into details with this. I'm just going to say it was very depressing to see certain people in this match. Naomi. And seeing Asuka in this match was really fucking depressing. And it seemed like Asuka was dominant and all that type of stuff. She eliminated a lot of people. Kairi Sane was in this match. She had an elbow drop. And then Asuka got eliminated by Sarah Logan. And then Sarah Logan got eliminated by Carmella. And Carmella won the match. That was such a fucking waste. You could have had Asuka win the match. She was already looking dominant, and you gave it to Carmella because she's from here, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't even care. Like, fuck it. Let's get to the next match. So the next match we got was for the Raw Tag Team titles. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, aka the Major Bros, versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team titles. This was a match that was literally made WrestleMania week. Like, it wasn't even announced on TV. They just made the match randomly, and it was on the pre-show. And Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder won the match. I have so many issues with this match. The match actually was pretty good for the most part. I thought it was cool. I like that the Revival actually wrestled their style, which was like cutting off the ring from the opponent. They did that a lot before Zack Ryder got the hot tag to Kurt Hawkins, and he got a bunch of offense. I like that the match was just, you know, basically it was like Revival dominating, then eventually Major Brothers, you know, did their comeback sequence and all that kind of stuff. But then after that, Kurt Hawkins literally got a roll-up pin and beat the Revival. So Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. The sad part is Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins didn't even have matching gear. Kurt Hawkins was wearing green for New York Jets, and Zack Ryder was wearing yellow and white. If that doesn't show you how much of a joke the Raw Tag Team division is, I don't know. Hopefully, you know, Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Mania, they'll lose the titles to somebody else. I don't see this going anywhere. I hope it doesn't go anywhere. I hope honestly the Revival win the titles back tomorrow, Monday Night Raw. I'll call it a day. Or today, because this is going up on a Monday, because I'm going to sleep after I record this. After that, the last match we got on the pre-show was the 6th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This was literally everybody in this match, because I paused and looked at the competitors. Everybody in this match was screwed up by WWE Creative one way or another. And it's pretty sad. Except for maybe Andrade and Mustafa Ali. Or Ali as he's now known because he got his name changed. And the story behind this wasn't even the competitors. It was that they had Colin Jost and Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. And I guess they got on Braun Strowman's nerve to the point where he put them in... Alexa Bliss, because she's the host of WrestleMania, put them in the match, and Braun Strowman was in the match, and basically nothing interesting happened. Braun Strowman eliminated everybody. Andrade eliminated himself, which didn't make any sense. And then Michael Che got eliminated. He got like smacked in the face by Braun and got eliminated. Colin Jost decided to bring in, he tried this comedy shit, but it wasn't funny. He brought in his therapist, and Braun Strowman beat up the therapist all stupid. And then eventually he threw Colin Jost to the outside to everybody, and Braun Strowman won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't think nobody cares. WWE doesn't care because none of this matters. To be honest, like whoever wins the Battle Royal, this thing is like forgotten within 2 months. So I don't even care that Braun Strowman won. WWE has really fucked up Braun Strowman. So, we officially open WrestleMania. And as soon as the show opens, we get Alexa Bliss, who comes out. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because this leads into the first match of the show, surprisingly. Alexa Bliss comes out. She says I don't even remember what she said, but it was some way where she brought out Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan came out. And I was in a Discord call with one of my homies, Zach. And I lost it. And I lost it in the negative way because I do not fuck with Hulk Hogan. I don't care how many times he apologized. What he said is fucked up. And he said it with the most hatred. And fuck him. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I really don't fuck with Hulk Hogan, bro. He's a fucking dweeb. And like his apology is what really made me not fuck with him because he literally apologized for getting caught and not for saying what he did. So fuck it. Fuck Hulk Hogan. After they did their little poses, we had pyro. The WrestleMania pyro was trash this year. Like, not the pyro for everybody else. The opening pyro was so terrible. Roman Reigns' pyro by himself was better than the entire pyro for the opening WrestleMania shit. So as soon as that happened, Paul Heyman walks to the ring and says, because Brock Lesnar's not closing the show, we're going to open the show. And we ended up opening the show, surprisingly, with the WWE Universal Championship match. We had Brock Lesnar go against Seth Rollins. This match was very short. As soon as Seth Rollins came out, he had an amazing entrance, by the way. Or at least I like the video. Basically, he's the Beast Slayer, so they had like a thing where the Beast was getting slayed. Seth Rollins came out. He had the gold and black attire on and a different look, but it looked pretty cool. As soon as he got out there, Brock pressed X to do the breakout. He attacked Seth Rollins, tossed Seth Rollins all stupid, hit Seth Rollins with a bunch of suplexes. He even hit an F5 on the outside. And then eventually the match turned when Seth pushed Brock into the ref. He hit Brock in the nuts, which by this point, Brock Lesnar should know that people are going to hit him in the nuts. And he should like cover his nuts. But anyways, Seth Rollins ends up hitting like 3 curb stomps. And he won. And that was it. That kind of sucked because, well, I mean, the build up to this match was shitty anyways. But like, for this to be the Universal Championship match and for this match to be this fucking short, this match, like, hold on, let me look up how short this match was actually. Hold on, let me, WrestleMania 35. I know this is very unprofessional of me right now. I'm looking up the stuff right now. I gotta see how short this fucking match was because this shit was terrible. That, like, for that to be a world title match, that was terrible. The match was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That pretty much confirms that Brock Lesnar is going to UFC. I'm happy Seth won the title. I just really wish Seth had a longer match and they could have told a better story with it. They didn't. It is what it is. The next match we got was AJ Styles and Randy Orton. This match, if you cut the first half of it, this match was cool. It wasn't better than their previous match they had on SmackDown. They even did the little spot they did from SmackDown where AJ faked out Randy Orton, but the camera angle wasn't as clean as it was before. Randy Orton hit an RKO for a near fall. AJ Styles Pele kicked Randy Orton. Randy Orton did hit a nice little superplex for another near fall. AJ Styles hit a phenomenal forearm to the outside. Hit a Pele kick on Randy Orton. After Randy Orton was trying to go for a super RKO. And then eventually it led to AJ Styles hitting a phenomenal forearm and winning the match. It was, I don't know, the match just felt so boring at the beginning because it just felt like the match went on for 15 minutes and the match was only about, the match was 16 minutes and it felt like it went on for 30. It started to pick up once AJ got hit with the RKO, then they started doing more bigger moves and stuff, but this match overall was, it was mad. It wasn't that much of a match. After that, we had Lacey Evans come out and do her little gimmick that she's been doing. So then, after that, with the next match we got was a fatal 4-way match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, as we had the team of Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Forgotten Sons, the real Forgotten Sons, The Bar, Ricochet and Aleister Black, and the Usos. Usos came out with hoodies on, white hoodies on. They wrestled in the hoodies, the sleeveless hoodies. Shinsuke Nakamura had this like big ass coat on, which is interesting, but you can obviously tell like this isn't the Shinsuke we've had once before. This match also made me realize that I think WWE is about to start treating Ricochet how Sin Cara was supposed to be booked had he never botched his entire career. The original Sin Cara. Because even Ricochet's entrance now is a Sin Cara-esque thing where he does his little pose and then he runs to the ring to do a flip. And that's exactly what he did. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. This match was cool. I mean, it was a match to, get everybody in. There was a lot of stuff. It was just like one of those matches that you watch and it happened and you forgot it happened, but it happened. Ricochet hit the 630 for a near fall. Shinsuke, there was a one part where everybody just hit their finisher on each other, and Shinsuke hit the what is this shit called? The Kinshasa on Aleister Black. But the ending of this match was essentially Sheamus catching the Usos super kick before getting hit with super kick, and then both of the Usos hit the splash on Sheamus and retain their titles, and then they mosh pit in the ring after. It was just a match to get everything going and get by, whatever. I would say this match really brought WrestleMania up for me personally was this match, and I didn't even think it was going to do that. And that is the False Count Anywhere match between Shane McMahon and The Miz, or my bad, the best in the world, Shane McMahon. I'm not doing the Greg Hamilton shit. I'm not doing all that. Shane McMahon as a heel is actually pretty interesting. I kind of like it because he refers himself as the best in the world because of the whole crown jewel trophy. But the worst part about it was that the graphics had the best in the world trophy, and it looked terrible. You could have just brought the trophy on stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this match was good though. I fucks with it. It was really like Shane was trolling Miz before he attacked him, and he was about to put Miz through a table with his the little thing where he jumps over the ring and elbows him through the table before Miz's dad got involved, and then Shane just proceeds to beat the crap out of the Miz's dad, and Miz's dad sold death, by the way. He died after he got hit by Shane McMahon. Then after that, the Miz and Shane just started having an aggressive ass match. It was False Count Anywhere, so they eventually took it to the crowd, fighting each other all around. They got to a point where they got where Miz was just beating up Shane all stupid with the chair. Then the funniest part of this match that was so unintentionally funny was The Miz hit Shane, right? The Miz hit Shane with a monitor, and Shane proceeded to oversell that hit so much that he jumped off of this platform back first onto a cart and then proceeds to fall off the cart to the floor. I laughed my ass off. That shit was hilarious. So then eventually Shane and Miz fall over to where like this giant platform was. This is big ass platforms everywhere. And they climb to the top of this platform where like this stage light is, or another camera, I guess like an outer camera. And they eventually fight. And then Shane realizes that he's kind of cornered because he's at the edge of it and there's like a fall. And eventually the Miz just starts wilding on him all stupid. I thought he was gonna hit Shane McMahon with the This Is Sparta kick before the Miz just superplexes Shane 15 feet off of the platform through something, and they both laid out. But Shane was knocked out anyways, but he happened to just lay on top of the Miz, and the referee counted 1, 2, 3, and Shane McMahon won the match. This match was actually pretty good. I fucked with this match. It was not long. It got everything they needed to do in this match. We even got the Shane. I liked this as Shane's, big spot in this match. Strictly because it was different. You didn't expect it. And I like that this was more of a shock win because I didn't expect that ending. I had the idea that Sanity was going to get involved because, The Miz beat them in a 3-on-1 handicap match on SmackDown. So I thought maybe they were going to interfere, help Shane win. But instead, it was just a straight up, it was really a clean victory. But it is what it is. It was a good match, though. This was my turning point, or at least I thought it was. Because the next match we ended up getting was the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So we have Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya, who came out with the Hart-themed jackets. And Bret Hart even came out with them for a quick second. The Iconics, who dressed up with Eddie Guerrero attire, and I believe Billie Kay had a Maleficent attire on. And then we have the team, Sasha Banks and Bayley, with the absolute worst tag team name of all time, the Boss 'n' Hook Connection, who were the champions. Notice I said were. This match overall, it was just a okay match. I can tell you the highlight of the match was Beth Phoenix hitting a super glam slam before Billie Kay pinned who took it? Bayley, and won the match because the Iconics won the women's tag titles. But overall, this match was just a match that happened. It wasn't nothing. Like Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax did stuff. Everybody did their individual stuff, but it was just like, okay, all right, come on, let's end it. And the Iconics end up winning. I am not the biggest fan of the Iconics, but I also thought that they should have won this match anyways. Oh yeah, there was another part of the match where they they do this in all multi-people matches where they do the big suplex, powerbomb, superplex thing. They did that in this match, and they did that in the Usos match as well. But yeah, so the Iconics won, and I felt like they should have won because they're a legitimate tag team, and you know they're not gonna win a single women's title, so you might as well give them the tag team titles. The next match we got was my main event for WrestleMania. In all honesty, had the WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan defending his title against Kofi Kingston, who I thought we was gonna get SOS Jamaican Kofi Kingston, but no, we just got New Day Kofi Kingston. Came out. Biggie had a present, but he said, "Wait, I'll hold the present until after." Daniel Bryan came out with the clean hemp belt. And we got the WWE Championship match that we've been waiting for. The story for this match has been amazing because it's been so organic and it's just been a really good build up. This is probably the best built match at WrestleMania consistently. This is a really good match. At the beginning it was just, Kofi Kingston was getting a lot of his stuff in, but then the match kind of turned over once Kofi Kingston tried to do some high flying stuff and he ended up landing chest first, which I don't even know if that affects him because of his chest. To the announce table before Kofi ended up just taking a bunch of damage from Daniel Bryan. This match really picked up with the near falls. I would say where Kofi Kingston tried to go for the Trouble in Paradise, didn't work. Then eventually Eric Rowan got involved, and Biggie and Xavier Woods hit the Midnight Hour on the outside. Then we get to a point where Daniel Bryan hits the running knee on Kofi Kingston for a near fall, and then he starts stomping Kofi Kingston in the face. And then there was a few times actually, and I loved it, where Daniel Bryan was going for the label lock. And the first time he did it, Kofi Kingston reversed out of it with the rope break. But the second time, he really had to fight out of it. And I like also how Daniel Bryan, when he locked it and he felt like Kofi Kingston was getting out of it, he started elbowing Kofi in the ribs and uppercutting him in the face and then kept the hold. That was actually pretty cool. And I also like that they had Kofi Kingston fight out of the label lock and he started punching Daniel Bryan, punching him, and eventually start doing his own version of the Daniel Bryan stomps. And it was pretty cool. Then eventually Kofi Kingston set up, got ready. The New Day Rock chant started, and he hit the Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. Kofi Kingston defeated Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. I am very excited. I'm so happy to see Kofi Kingston finally, first of all, get a one-on-one WWE Championship match. Then he got the WWE Championship. He won it. Kofi Kingston is the WWE Champion, making him the second black WWE Champion because people want to no-sell the fact that The Rock is half black and he was a part of the Nation of Domination. But yes, Kofi Kingston is the WWE Champion. I don't want to take that away from him, but I love Kofi Kingston. I've been a fan since he was Jamaican. Like I can go as far as going back to grammar school, and somebody gave me a Kofi Kingston like necklace, and I think I still have it in my house. I think I might have the centerpiece of it in my house, not the actual necklace part of it, but the centerpiece I still have. Like I've been a fan of Kofi Kingston forever, and I will always be a fan of Kofi Kingston. That's why I was rocking with the New Day when nobody wasn't. When they first came out. Oh yeah, this match was good. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. The drama of it towards the end. This was my main event. So after the match, Kofi Kingston celebrated. The New Day pulled the covers off, and it was the original WWE Championship, not the WWE Championship before Daniel Bryan made it a hemp belt. It had Kofi Kingston's side plates. Kofi Kingston brought the kids in there, and then eventually Biggie opened up the gift, and it's brand new T-shirts of the New Day with the WWE Championship. And it's just crazy. Kofi Kingston is finally a Grand Slam champion in WWE. That was something that was something I never thought I would be able to say, that Kofi Kingston is officially a Grand Slam champion or a Grand Slam winner. He's officially a Triple Crown winner in WWE. I thought I would never say that, and it actually happened. It just shows you what WWE can do if they just let stuff happen organically, because this originally wasn't even supposed to happen, because Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in this match and he got hurt, and Kofi Kingston just got over with that gauntlet match, and people was just fucking with Kofi from then on. KofiMania. He's officially the WWE Champion. Now, personally, I don't see this reign lasting long. It's the moment that matters, to be honest. And then the reign, whatever happens at the reign, I don't really care. Not saying that Kofi Kingston is going to suck as a champion. It's just that this moment means more than the reign itself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy Kofi Kingston won. I'm happy Xavier Woods did his career goal, which was he kept saying this. He said this years ago that he's going to make sure that Kofi Kingston becomes WWE champion, and Kofi Kingston is now WWE champion. This is something, like I said, I never thought I would see. It's crazy. So after that, the next match we got was the WWE United States Championship match between Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe. This match lasted all of a minute, a literal minute. This match lasted a minute. Rey Mysterio came out dressed as Mysterio from Spider-Man. Samoa Joe came out. The match was all of a minute. Rey Mysterio tried to go for a 619. Tried so many things, and then Samoa Joe caught him with the coquina clutch, and he tapped out Rey Mysterio in a minute. Now, I think this match did not go as long as it was supposed to, because before this, the go-home episode of Raw, Rey Mysterio injured his ankle going against Baron Corbin, and I don't think he was officially 100% going into this match, so I guess they might have wanted to prevent something bad from happening, so they had Joe just beat him in a minute. And this also kind of like legitimizes Samoa Joe that he got in his first Mania match. He beat Rey Mysterio, a legend in WWE, in a minute. This will make Samoa Joe's character. This brings more legitimacy to Samoa Joe than ever before. I like that they actually did this. This is pretty cool. The match lasted all of a minute. Booker T was on commentary. Samoa Joe retained. The next match we got was Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. This match was not that long either. I had higher hopes for this match, but it let me down. But before we get into it, Drew McIntyre had a really, really clean entrance. As he had the bagpipers and stuff. It's kind of reminiscent of his NXT entrance, but the people actually were playing his theme song. Because before, the people wasn't playing his theme song, they were just playing something. This time they were actually on beat and playing his theme song as he came to the ring. Roman Reigns came out, didn't get booed out the stadium for once. Had the cleanest pyro ever. His pyro was better than the opening pyro of WrestleMania. This match, I was expecting it to just be two big brawly dudes beating the crap out of each other. And at one point, we got that. And then Roman Reigns just started getting his ass kicked by Drew. Then eventually he came back. Drew McIntyre hit a headbutt. He ended up hitting an Alabama slam in the middle of the ring for a near fall. It was just that. Then eventually Roman Reigns went for the Superman punch, and then he speared Drew McIntyre, and he won. And that was it. I thought Drew was going to kick out, and then was going to continue the match, but no, the match didn't last that long. It kind of sucks that Drew lost, because it seems like every time it seems like WWE is about to build Drew up for greatness, it's like they have him lose a match. And I thought it would be better for Drew had he beat Roman, and then you could set it up to where Drew has beaten up all the Shield, and then he goes after the Universal Championship at this point. But hey, it is what it is. Roman won in his first, not even his first Mania back. Roman Reigns won. I thought Dean Ambrose was going to get involved. There was so much that I thought was going to happen to make this match better, and it didn't. So it is what it is. So after that, we got the Elias segment, because he is the quote-unquote musical guest for WrestleMania this year. And I'm going to keep it real. I didn't give a fuck until the ending. So basically, Elias was playing different instruments, playing a piano, playing the drums, and eventually playing the guitar. Then, out of nowhere, on the Titantron, or the big-ass screen for WrestleMania, it was just basically Babe Ruth at a New York Yankees baseball game, and I guess he hit a home run. I'm not that big of a fan of baseball, so I really didn't give a fuck. And then we got motherfucking Thugonomics John Cena with the dad hairdo, and he came out, he rhymed, spit. We got the Word Life theme song, which is a song I haven't heard in years, and I was very hyped about that. Eventually, he just verbally abused Elias before he said he was going to hit him with the FU, which is basically the AA, but that's what we used to call it before the PG era came and said, no, you changed that shit to the attitude adjustment. So, yeah, hit Elias with that AA and ended it like that. So, actually, the funny part about this is last year, John Cena did the same thing to Elias before he got squashed by Undertaker. So, that's interesting. So, the next match we got was a match that I was hyped only for the entrances. We have Batista versus Triple H in a no-holds-barred match. Triple H's career is on the line. You already knew Triple H is not going to end his career tonight. And he didn't. He beat Batista. The entrances for these two was amazing. Let's talk about Batista's entrance because I love Batista's entrance. He came out, the music dropped, his amazing theme song, "I Walk Alone," one of my favorite wrestling theme songs of all time. He had these security trucks came out because he's Hollywood now because he's part of the MCU and he's got all these movies coming out, and WWE even promoted one of his movies coming up soon. And I thought that the security guards were midgets at first because the camera angle made them look shorter, but they were grown, full-size men. And eventually Batista came out of one of the trucks, slammed the door, and he did the pyro machine gun entrance, and that's all I asked for. I even recorded my reaction to it on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see that. He did the reaction. I lost it, and then Batista fucked up because as soon as he got to the ring, he tripped and fell. He tripped and fell. Triple H's entrance. I didn't think Triple H's entrance was nice. He had a Mad Max entrance this year. So if you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, which is a movie I still have to see, but I kind of got the gist of it. So the Titantron, or the big ass screen, showed basically Triple H in a death race, and then eventually the car he was driving, he came out in, and it was playing the music, I guess the Mad Max music or whatever. And then when it got to the end of the ramp, Triple H's music came on, and he eventually did his whole entrance and shit, and it was pretty lit. The match itself, if you've seen Batista and Triple H's series of 3 matches, I actually binge watched all 3 of their matches like last month. Was it last month? Yeah, last month. Their matches weren't that good. They weren't that great. They were average at best, and I had like mid expectations for this match, and it met my expectations at the middle. So that's all I could ask for. The match started out with Triple H just doing all types of crazy stuff, non-PG stuff. He hit Triple H. Triple H hit Batista in the face with a toolbox, and then he took pliers. Was it pliers? No, like a chain cutter or whatever, and put it on Batista's hands and stomped on his hand. Then eventually he took a plier and ripped out Batista's nose ring, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then after that, and Batista's nose was bleeding. Eventually he took advantage, got offense in, slammed Triple H's back onto the tables, but they didn't break. And then eventually they just, got their offense in. Got to a point where Batista was going to set up a Batista bomb through a table, and Triple H reversed it, and back suplexed Batista on one table, eventually spearing Batista through another table, the German announce table. And then Triple H hit a pedigree for a near fall. Batista hit a Batista bomb for a near fall. Then eventually both of them had the sledgehammers. Once again, just like their other previous matches, Ric Flair got involved because he's also part of this story because of his birthday party and Batista dragging Ric Flair by a suit jacket. And they both had sledgehammers, and Batista thought he could outsmart Triple H because he had the sledgehammer. Ric Flair gave Triple H the sledgehammer. He hit Batista in the face with the sledgehammer, eventually hitting the pedigree, and he won the match. And there you have it. Triple H won the match. You all knew he was going to win because they're not going to end Triple H's career right now. So it is what it is. The next match we got was Kurt Angle's farewell match against Baron Corbin. By this point, I was getting really tired, sleepy, you can say. And then the match happened. Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle both got individual introductions by the announcers. The match wasn't that long. Kurt Angle hit suplexes, hit the ankle slam for a near fall, put Baron Corbin in the ankle lock. Baron Corbin hit a deep 6. And then while Kurt Angle was going for the ankle lock, Baron Corbin reversed it, and then he hit Kurt Angle with the end of days and won the match. Boom. I don't know why the motherfuckers in the crowd were so shocked that Kurt Angle lost in his last match, because that's kind of how the wrestling business goes, that in your last match you put the younger guy over. Now granted, the opponent for Kurt Angle was not the best. It is what it is. I don't pick and choose who gets pushed or not, so I don't know. So after the match, Baron Corbin celebrating, lipping outside the ring, selling the ankle lock. And then Kurt Angle basically was saying, let's play my music, and everybody chanting "you suck" and yada yada. I really didn't give a fuck. So the next match we got was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, as we had the Demon King Finn Balor, which is really just Finn Balor in paint once the entrance is finished, against Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley came out first, and that was another one of my issues about Mania this year, and it's my issue about WWE currently because they do this a fucking lot. Where they have the champions come out first, and a lot of the matches the champion came out first, with the exception of the Samoa Joe U.S. title match and the Daniel Bryan WWE Championship match. Other than that, the champions came out first in almost every single match. It doesn't make sense. The champion is not supposed to come out first. This match lasted all of, I don't know, how long was this match? It had to be less than 10 minutes. It was 4 minutes. The Kurt Angle match was 6 minutes, which if you combine the two, it was 10 minutes and 5 seconds, which means these two matches was the equivalent of Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, which was 10 minutes and 10 seconds. If you add 6 minutes and 5 seconds and 4 minutes and 5 seconds, you get 10 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm sorry I had to do a math lesson. This match, I mean, it was like the Pittsburgh match, so I guess WWE has equality because the Pittsburgh used to be the female matches. Now it's the male matches. Finn Balor did his demon entrance. He stood on a podium that was like rised up, and I had said that would be funny as fuck if Finn Balor just fell off the damn podium. I don't know. Bobby Lashley had green contacts in his eyes. He looked like Debo from Friday. The match started out with Finn Balor going for a spinning heel kick and hitting other stuff before eventually Bobby Lashley reversed it with his little lifting choke slam. Threw Finn Balor all stupid, hit the Biggie spear through the ropes, and then hitting a spear in the ring for a near fall before Finn Balor hit a power bomb on Bobby Lashley and then hitting the coup de grace for the win. So Finn Balor is the 2-time IC champion, which doesn't make any sense because like he lost the title on a random episode of Raw, and they're basically just playing fucking hot potato with this damn title at this point. I don't care. Fuck it. Oh, Jesus. We get to this next fucking match. Oh, my God. We get to the main event of WrestleMania 35. Winner takes all triple threat. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte, versus Becky Lynch, versus the Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. Before the match even started, they had a helicopter fly in the air. You see the camera. It's Charlotte with a leather jacket. They give her the superstar entrance. They roll the red carpet out for her. They take her jacket off. They put her robe on, and she walks to the the stadium. So after that, Ronda Rousey gets her little entrance where she had, what's the lady's name? Joanne Jett, who made her theme song. She did a live performance, got pyro. Then eventually Ronda Rousey came out, did her entrance. Then Charlotte came out, got pyro. Then Becky Lynch came out. The woman with no titles came out last instead of the champions. Okay. To be honest, by this point, I was already not half sleep, but I was just like, I don't know. My energy was low. And I actually started playing WWE Supercard. So I was paying attention to this match, but this match wasn't really doing anything for me. I can tell you what I remember, I guess, what interested me. Ronda Rousey hit a double arm bar. That was cool, I guess. There was one scary moment of this match where Charlotte and Charlotte and Becky dumped Ronda to the outside, but Ronda took a nasty bump. But you know, it's all fake, so none of this even matters according to Ronda. Yeah, back to this match. Overall, it was just like a lot of stuff was going on, but I was just like, okay. But also, because the show was so long, the fans were like kind of dead for the most part of it. So it was just like getting them back invested. There was one part where Becky hit Ronda Rousey with the what's the name of her finisher? Her armbar. I'm just gonna call it Becky's armbar. I don't remember what the name of it is. I really don't. She did that before Charlotte got involved. Becky brought out a table, which actually woke the fans up to one point. She brought out the table. She was gonna powerbomb Charlotte through the table before Ronda knocked them out, and she basically moved the table out the way and said, "Tables are for bitches." I don't know. I don't know. This Ronda Rousey can't convince me that she's a heel. After that, eventually Charlotte was gonna spear somebody through the table before they caught her and slammed her through the table, and she's basically out. And eventually just turned into Ronda and Becky fighting it out. And eventually Ronda was gonna go for the Piper's Pit, and she hit it, and then Becky reversed it into a crucifix pin. But I don't know if Ronda was supposed to kick out or not. And Becky Lynch won. And now we have a new Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion in Becky Lynch. It was the ending that WWE was gonna do, but it was not the correct way to finish off a story like that. You don't end it off with a fluke victory. That's not how you do that. That's why I'm just very confused. I don't know if it was planned or if it's a botch. If it was a botch, that's kind of fucked up because it's the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, the winner won and shit, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a botch. Or did they plan this to get the fluke win and then have her face Ronda at the next pay-per-view? I don't know. Was it the best way to end it in that match and in that story by having Becky just win by fluke? You don't do that. You don't build Becky up like that just to have her win like that. That's not how you do that. That was a terrible ending to WrestleMania. It's just very confusing. Like I don't know how to feel about it. But overall, for the most part, WrestleMania was cool. I mean, everybody won. The three faces won, and Seth, Kofi, and Becky. It's just the way Becky won just didn't make any sense. But my main event was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. Match of the night was probably Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, if I'm being honest. But overall, WrestleMania was good if you exclude the ending. The main event, I just felt like the main event, the reaction-wise, just the crowd was dead by this point. They just sat through like 8-9 hours of wrestling. And like I said, the peak was the WWE Championship match, in my opinion. A lot of people were actually asleep during this show. But it is what it is. That's my WrestleMania review for you all. You know, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. The next review I'm going to be doing, I guess, now is Money in the Bank. I thought it was a Saudi show coming up in the beginning of May, but I guess the end of May we're getting Money in the Bank. Yeah, man. Like I said, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Just do to support me. Follow me on all the social media links down in the description below. Anyway, damn, I can't even say my own intro. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.